You're listening to KPFT Houston 90.1 on the dial. If you're down in Galveston, you're listening to us on 89.5, Huntsville, Texas 91.9, and our friends up in East Texas, Livingston, Goodrich, and beyond 89.9. It is time for Songwriter Studio. I am your host, Tom Tranchilla, and I've got a jam-packed show for you, as I do every week. We're going to start out with an interview with Andrew Farriss, the co-founder of In Excess, has a brand new album out, The Prospector. We're going to follow that up by local artist Leslie Waugh has a new album. Follow that up by Todd Mack. Also, I'm going to try to squeeze in a couple of tracks off of Corey Quinn. He has 2 new singles out. Without further ado, let me bring on my guest, Andrew Farriss, the co-founder of the supergroup In Excess. Andrew, welcome to Songwriter Studio.
How are you, Tom?
I'm doing excellent. Thank you so much for agreeing to do this interview with us. You have a new record out, and I'm sure you're quite busy trying to promote it.
Yeah, that's right. We've been having a good time rolling around. I've got a couple of very talented musicians that have been working with me for some years now. Travis New on guitar and vocals, and another amazing singer and percussionist called Ashley Leaf. But we've been rolling around and promoting this new album that I've just put out called The Prospector, and it was released on the 10th of July. And I'm going to brag for a minute because for the second time, I was able to perform at the Grand Ole Opry on the day that my album was actually released, on 10th of July.
I saw that on your bio. What an experience that was. I know you'd shared the stage at the Grand Ole Opry with Keith Urban as well a couple of years ago.
Yeah, I invited Keith to get up and play with me. I've known Keith for many, many years. I won't go too far down that road, but you know, we go back a long way. And I was first introduced to him by a woman called Joanne Peterson that used to be Brian Epstein's secretary, the Beatles manager. And Joanne called me up and said, Andrew, I've got this young guy who really wants to meet you. And he came down to my house and, you know, bought a guitar, and we started talking, and I immediately liked him. He's just that kind of guy. He's a good guy. And
both being Aussies too, that helped.
That's right. Yeah.
You know, I wanted to step back in time just a little bit. We spoke off mic about your success with In Excess. You were the co-founder, and I know you had 2 brothers involved with the band early on and actually called the band the Farriss Brothers. And then you brought on Michael Hutchins, who was one of your close friends. I know we spoke off mic, and unfortunately he had lost his life. But during that time period in the 80s and 90s, you had 7 top 10 hits in the U.S. and 10 singles in Australia. And what a run you guys had.
Yeah, it was quite a ride, Tom. You know, we had lots of highs and some pretty big lows too. But I think one of the things I would say to folks if they're listening about those years, we worked in over 50 countries, would you believe it? And including, obviously, North America, you know, the United States. We did, I think, 13 3-month tours by road just in the 80s alone. But the biggest concerts In Excess ever performed were actually in the early 90s. So, yeah, it was a kind of crazy time. On the one hand, I have no regrets, as my dad used to say. He said, son, have no regrets, okay? You know, but probably if I had a regret, I would just say that there were some times where I wish I'd been at home just a little bit more than what we were, because we just toured relentlessly. And I'm a songwriter. You know, that's the main thing I do is I write songs. And I looked at myself as that, you know, that was kind of my job within In Excess, and mainly the music side of it. Not that I don't write lyrics, I like writing lyrics. It's just that the singer, Michael Hutchins, he didn't play an instrument. His instrument was his voice, and man, what a voice. It wasn't just that. He's also a very, very talented lyricist. And I think he really, really liked singing his own lyrics on stage. And so as a songwriting partnership, or duo, if you like, you know, songwriting partner, we worked a lot that way together.
Andrew, the new record, you really changed up genres on this. I know you've moved quite a bit from the rock and roll and punk side over to the Americana country music. The Prospector is certainly focused on that genre of music. We spoke off mic about some of the great players you had access to working out in Nashville. You also recorded quite a bit of this album at your farm in Australia, Piedmont Studios. and I've got so much music on this new record. Just about every track on here is FM worthy. It's just one great song after another. You did a great job of breaking up the material, the lyrical content, and the tempos of the song, brought in a lot of great instruments. I wanted to start out with the track number 3 called Rolling Home. This is a co-write with Jay Chalker. Could you talk a little bit about that? I think we spoke off mic about the great dobro playing. It's either Scotty Sanders or Devin Malone. Mandolin, you brought in Tammy Rogers King. Give the listening audience a little background on this track.
Sure. Yeah, Rolling Home, that's right. Rolling Home was very much, songwriting-wise, there's a lady called Jess Chalker. And believe it or not, we wrote this song maybe 20 years ago, and she now lives in London, in England. I had lived in England at one point in my life for almost 5 years. 2 of my children were born my 3 children were born during the years I lived in England. And of course, we've all got funny accents, but Australians are down the bottom of the world, and the British are, and you guys are all up in the northern part of the world. For Jess, I think she is such a talented songwriter, and we had started talking about the idea behind Rolling Home is when you travel and you start performing your music to people, especially in different countries, you start reflecting on your life from the home that you came from. And it could be a completely different country that you're in, a completely different language. They had to have completely different food, the whole thing. And you start thinking about your own home a lot, and you start thinking about, maybe I want to go home, at some point, because it's deep inside of all of us. Many people who might be listening to this, and they've done some tourist stuff, they've been to a different country. And whilst it's interesting to reflect on those cultures or those other countries, sometimes, and if you're lucky, there's nothing like going home.
Let's jump into that track right now. From the brand new album, The Prospector, new music, Andrew Farriss. This is Rolling Home.
Sisters making wishes for my brother. There's a highway in the distance. Big city seems so far away. We always said one day we'd leave this small town. So I got a job in a farmer's market. It took a year to save up all of my cash. I bought myself an all-green Ford, put a mattress in the back. Said goodbye to my family and swore that I'd be back again someday, that I'd be rolling home, that I'd be rolling home. Now the city swallowed me whole. Tall buildings formed a cave that hides the sun. I always thought that this was the place, but looking back, maybe I was wrong. But I'm not one to give up quick, it's gonna take some time. But lately I am such a mess, so lonely that I could die, that I got to be rolling home. Yeah, I got to be rolling home. Looking round these 4 walls, it's finally sinking in. Sometimes the best place is the home where you began. I got to be rolling home. Got to be rolling home.
Rolling Home, brand new music, Andrew Farriss, co-write with Jess Chalker. We spoke a little bit about the mixing and mastering engineers on this. It's done so well. Go ahead and give the listening audience a little heads up on that.
Absolutely, Tom. Mix engineer's name is David Buchanan, and David operates most of the time out of Larry Beard's studio out of Berry Hill in Nashville. And I love Dave's mixes. Occasionally, I'll step in and I'll change things around a bit or edit something. And some of the adjustments I'll make myself. But most of the time, I'm perfectly happy to let David drive the car because he knows what he's doing. And the mastering on my recordings, I get an older guy called Don Bartley to do a lot of the work. Don's very, very experienced and very, very clever man.
I've got the opening track queued up now. We're going to back up a little. Gold Rush to Ghost Town. This is a co-write with Bogart and James. Give the listening audience a little background on this track.
Sure. This song kind of came out of nowhere. I was in, which I don't do a lot of, a corporate kind of style songwriting session. And Steve Bogart, who I really wanted to write with, was there. And Sam James were the guys. We got in a room together and I suggested the idea of how much life really is sometimes like a gold rush to Ghost Town. You know, where you start off, you have lots of enthusiasm, where you want to get into it. You got to pay the rent. You got to buy food. You got to feed the dog. You got to get through life. You got to whatever you're doing. And then towards the end of it all, especially as you start to get older, things start to disappear around you, including friends and family. And it's interesting. I just thought it was a good idea for a song. And Steve Bogart and Sam James got into the idea. But later on, there's something that happens in this recording that we didn't do during the writing of the song. It was something that I thought about later on. As after I say, with a group of musicians I was working with, when we recorded Gold Rush to Ghost Town, I suggested to one of the engineers I was working with, Rob Lane, at Larry Beard's studio, I suggested that I thought having a key change later on in the song might be a really interesting way to tail out the end of the song. But what we came up with was nothing like what I would call a normal key change. Mostly when you're doing a key change, it's often a singer-songwriter thing where you'll go up a step. You can hear it a lot on some records. And you go up like a couple of semitones and everyone's happy with that. This one's a little weird. The whole song modulates almost automatically to a completely different key, and somehow we managed to make it work. Yeah, Gold Rush to Ghost Town, I'm really happy with that song. And the interesting thing is the reason I opened my album with it, and this is in the old school sense, okay, and I'm very much aware we live in the digital era, and it's gone back to being almost like Tin Pan Alley, where you get one little shot at it and everyone's attention spans like about 5 seconds to listen to anything. But in the old school sense, I wanted to make my album like more old school album, where I thought very carefully about the running order of all the songs on the Prospector. That's what my album's called. And I wanted to think about it very carefully. And Gold Rush to Ghost Town was just, to me, the logical opener.
Let's jump into that track right now. And by the way, you beat me to the punch. I made note this has an extremely creative key change near the end. So glad you explained that. Let's listen to that track right now. Gold Rush to Ghost Town. Brand new music, Andrew Farriss.
Lucky strikes that never come, ghost towns boom and bust, dreams of easy gold turn into rust. Well, heaven and hell, I've been there, morning rides, midnight air. I'm either blazing trails or I'm eating dust. Gold rush to ghost town, hot streams to cool downs, nothing really changes. Lovers and strangers always trading places. Gold rush to ghost town, back when to right now. You go from broken hearted to getting something started. Gold rush to ghost town. I get right and I go wrong. Sometimes weak, sometimes strong. Take me in and take me as I am. Playing gin and drinking rum, crying out to kingdom come. Give it hell till I don't give a damn. Gold rush to ghost town, hot streams to cool downs. Nothing really changes. Lovers and strangers always trading places. Gold rush to ghost town, back when to right now. You go from broken hearted to getting something started. Gold rush to ghost town. Gold rush to ghost town. You live, you lose, you trust, but you learn to ride the rush. Gold rush to ghost town. Gold rush to ghost town.
Gold Rush to Ghost Town, brand new music. Our guest, Andrew Farriss, off the new album, The Prospector. Andrew, we're going to jump into something totally different here. You breaking the genres up so well on this album. Something Stronger, a co-write with Laurie Minson, and this is just flat out rock and roll. You're bringing back some of your old rock and roll days with this track. We spoke a little off mic how Laurie brought this song to you. Why don't you tell the listening audience?
Yeah, Tom. Normally, it's me that comes up with an idea, and but this time, Laurie, he rang me up down in Australia, and he said, "I got this idea for a song," and he played the riff to me, and we talked a little bit about it being a drinking song, but not so much just about drinking alcohol, but more about when you're younger and you move into that sort of more adult phase in your life. And I thought that kind of sounds interesting. So I drove down from my farm about an hour and a half where I live down to the local city where Laurie lives. And we wrote this song, Something Stronger. But, it's been a popular song live. And you're right, it has that slightly southern rock feel to it. But I could talk more about that, but I'm not going to.
Okay. Let's jump into that track right now off the new album, The Prospector, Something Stronger, new music, Andrew Farriss.
Cheap whiskey burning down our teenage throats. Our fire on the end of a hand rolled smoke. We were flying so high, we thought we were birds, till we crashed back down with our head in the dirt. We were born with the hunger, always reaching for something stronger. Make the flame burn a little longer. We were reaching for something stronger. She liked me 'cause I was a backstreet racer. I was 17. I loved the smell of burning rubber and that gasoline. Always had to be the first one over the line. Looking back now, it's dumb walk. I'm still alive. We were born with the hunger, always reaching for something stronger. We'd make the flame burn longer. We were reaching for something stronger.
Something Stronger, brand new music. Our guest, Andrew Farriss, is our guest on Songwriter Studio, playing songs off of his brand new album, The Prospector. Andrew, we're running a little short on time. I want to get a few more tracks on. Let's talk about Truth or Consequences. This is pretty much a blues mix of rock and roll. You got banjo on here by Pat McGraw. Why don't you give the listening audience a little information on this one?
First of all, my wife, Marlena, and I were driving back from the Southwest United States, and we had some friends down there, some cowboy people that we used to ride horses with down that area. And sadly, one of our friends passed away, and we'd been with his wife to try and help her. But anyway, so we drove back up from Arizona up through the Gila, I think it is, National Forest area in New Mexico. And we came to a sign, and one of the directions on the signpost said Truth or Consequences. And I said, that's not a road sign, that's philosophy. You can take either direction, it's up to you. You can have Truth or Consequences, or you can go somewhere else. And I thought that's just a really good name for a song. So I took that as the basis of an idea, and I wrote the song about a character, and you're not quite sure what's going to happen at the end of the song. The mix engineer at the time said to me, where's the ending of the song? I said, that's deliberate. I don't want everyone to know how the song ends, because it's the mystery's greater than the fact, you know. But who knows? You know, maybe on the next record I'll actually write the rest of this song. Seriously. And people, you know, can go, oh, that's what happened. You know, but the idea, yeah, also the people who played on that recording, people like Nathan Cotillo on the guitar, Troy Lancaster, and that's right. And you know, Pat McGraw played on that as well. I think Wes Little played the drums on that one, I think, too.
Jim Hoke on harmonica, on harp.
That's right, and Jim Hoke, that's right, on harmonica. And also Angie Prim and Gail Mays were doing the backup vocals. And I had someone else ask me about who the heck was singing in the back of that track. And it's Angie and Gail. Amazing singers.
Great song off the new album, The Prospector. Let's jump into that track right now. New music, Andrew Farriss.
That same girl you've been hanging around on the other side of this crazy town and make things right. Hey Jimmy, I heard you stole that gun. He said, why you asking? You better not tell anyone. Well now Jimmy, that girl you've been hanging around, see, she's my sister. Now how does that sound? Truth or consequences? Truth or consequences? Truth or consequences? Listen, Jimmy, I'm a lawman's son, and you do wrong by her, I'm gonna hunt you down. He said, anyway, you don't need to know. And I think it's time for you to go. You better keep moving. Leave Whiskey Bridge, get out of this town. I don't need a sign or a flashing light. To know what's wrong and what feels right. Gonna be some truth or consequences. Well, give it to me straight. Why you back so late? No cheating, no lying, no mystifying. Truth the consequences.
Truth or Consequences, brand new music, Andrew Farriss from the album The Prospector. Andrew, it's been such a pleasure to talk to you. You're a wealth of knowledge and experience. I've got time for one more track. Before I jump into that, though, you wanted to talk a little bit about why you chose the songs for the new record. Please.
Yeah, thanks, Tom. I appreciate that. Well, someone threw the question to me the other day as well as why these songs? And I said, when I first started writing some of the songs on the Prospector album, I was going to write a very different kind of album, you know, perhaps a little bit more Southern rock. But then what happened was I realized with the song titles of some of my songs had begun to have a common theme, and that is looking at things carefully. Now, that could be looking at the relationship you're in with some people or your significant other, or it could be about observing the world and looking at the world. And in that sense, in a more kind of 1960s, 1970s thing, I wanted it to not be so pop, and I wanted to make the record, you know, some of the song titles on my album, The Prospector, are names like I'll See You Again, or the military expression, I've got eyes on it, or Looking Everywhere, or Truth to Consequences, Gold Rush to Ghost Town, Honesty, those sort of songs. Then I realized the title of my album should be The Prospector, because the prospector's out there looking for things, you know. Well, I don't just mean, you know, gold and silver and money. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about observing things. And I think it's something I wish a lot more writers would do, quite frankly, is start talking about what is actually going on out there in the world. I think that's important.
I agree. And Andrew, the album was put together so well. If these folks want to order a copy, check your schedule, order other merchandise, where do they go?
Well, putting it real simply, andrewfarriss.com. And now I've got 2 S's in my name. Most people only, with the name Farriss, they have 1 S, but I'm lucky. I got 2. So it's Andrew Farriss, that's 2 R's, 2 S's, andrewfarriss.com.
Do you have any plans on coming through Texas on a tour, CD release?
Well, now I'd love to do that. In my old band, In Excess, they used to call us In Excess from Texas at one point. Yeah, we loved that area. We toured that area. Yeah, I remember In Excess, we performed in Texas Stadium. I think it would have been about 1988 or something, somewhere around there. And our support bands were Guns N' Roses, Ziggy Marley, Bob Marley's son, and Iggy Pop. It was a great gig. It went off. It was cool. I'd love to come back and tour through Texas. That'd be great, Tom.
We're going to go out with one more track, the last track on the album, Looking Everywhere. Give these folks a little information on this track. Sure.
It's interesting you should pick Looking Everywhere, Tom, because it was the last song that I purposely co-wrote for the Prospector album. And there was a young fella called Jacob Reese Thornton. I was told by another associate of mine, she said to me, you should work with this young guy. And he's like a kind of young Bob Dylan sort of guy. And I really enjoyed that co-write with Jacob. He's one very, very talented fella. And the song is called Looking Everywhere, and it's basically about observing things that are going on around you.
Yeah, we were talking a little off mic about these young people now. They're addicted to their telephones and iPads, and we need to open our eyes and look around, like you just said, whether it be nature, whether it be people. Let's get involved in what we're here for.
That's right.
Andrew, thanks again for being such a great guest on Songwriter Studio. Please stick around. Up next, I have brand new music by Corey Quinn, followed up by local artist Leslie Waugh. And if I have time, I'm going to squeeze in some new tracks from Todd Mack's album. Andrew, thanks again for being our guest on Songwriter Studio.
You're welcome, Tom, and thanks for having me. And I wish all your listeners safe travels wherever they're going. And hopefully I'll see you soon.
Thank you.
Look at all the flowers and trees. Look at all the birds and bees. Look at all the fields of wheat. Look at all the people we need to feed. Look at all the concrete and steel. Look at all the people living on the street. Look at all the piles of trash. Look at sister's brother who ain't got no cash. Looky here and looky there. Looky everywhere. Looky here and looky there. I'm looking everywhere. It's raining gray today. Maybe we lost our way. The rain keeps falling down on thirsty ground. Man, some days it feels so bleak, staring down the dead-end street. But when I open my mind and my eyes, well, looky here and looky there. Looky everywhere. Looky here and looky there. I'm looking everywhere. Look out. Look at all the dusty country roads. Look at all the rows of yellow corn. Look at the stars in the evening sky. Look at all the cars that pass us by. Look at all the colors on a virgin wall. Look at the graffiti that says it all. Look at all the eyes that never see the mighty river we call humanity. Well, looky here and looky there. Looky everywhere. Looky here and looky there. I'm looking everywhere. Looky here and looky there. I'm looking everywhere. Looky here and looky there. I'm looking everywhere. Looking everywhere.
Looking everywhere. New music from our guest, Andrew Farriss. The name of the new album is The Prospector. Big thanks to Bill Wentz for bringing me that new album and artist. Up next on Songwriter Studio, I'm going to feature 3 more artists, all with new releases. I'm going to start out with our old friend Corey Quinn. Just released 2 singles, both of them blues. The first one, acoustic blues with harmonica. Second track is electric blues. We're going to start out with Pert Near Close, followed up by Oxycontin Blues, electric guitar and blues rock. Let's start out with the first track I've got selected, Pert Near Close. After that, I'm going to feature a couple of singles off of Leslie Waugh's album, Night Bloom, Trouble on My Mind, followed up by Pay Attention. After that, I'm going to play several tracks off the new album by Todd Mack. Here's Corey Quinn.
Whistling away on the break of day. Papa go to work now, Mama go to play. Hey, 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 hey. Where you think you're going without ever knowing her ways? Dancing the night through the morning light. Mama go to work now, Papa hit the heights. Hey, 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 hey. Sure got a yearning, he gotta keep burning his flame. But chasing the dreams like giving up a ghost. You learn to live less on more than most. Every twist and turn of this road I learned. I sure ain't got it yet. Good and pert near close. Twitch of the light, this is the life. Mama take a bath now, Papa fly a kite. Hey, 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 hey. When you think you're floating, the wind stops blowing your way. Drawing my pay at the end of the day. Papa go to porch now. Mama hit the hay, hay, hay. Hey, hey. Think and count your fortune, save us some Beaujolais. Chasing a dream like giving up a ghost. You learn to live less on more than most. Every twist and turn of this road I learned. I sure ain't got it yet, but I'm pretty near close. Chasing the dreams like giving up a ghost. You learn to live less on more than most. Every twist and turn of this road I learned. I sure ain't got it yet, but I'm pretty near close. Chemicals we can't pronounce feed the media's hungry mouth. Corporate poets write the script
Corey Quinn, new music, Pert Near Close, followed up by Oxycontin, beautiful blues work. I mentioned right before that our good friend Leslie Waugh has a brand new album out, Night Bloom. She's going to release this as singles. She's released 2 singles so far I'm going to feature right now. First off, track number 2 off the album, Troubles on My Mind, beautiful guitar work by Dennis Lodker, followed up by Pay Attention with a release date of August 7th. Here it is, new music, Leslie Waugh.
One more chance with you, it'd probably be a second-rate romance or a night rendezvous. Now it's too late to make you happy, baby, I never could. And all this company I keep isn't doing me a bit of good. Every man knocking on my front door is just looking for a place to hide. It's no wonder I have given up. I got troubles on my mind. To hear you tell it was clean and easy, nice to see you keeping it sleazy. It wasn't just black and white. There's a long trail of tears that I left behind. If you look closely, you will see they lead back to the scene of the crime. And every rainbow and pot of gold disappeared before my eyes. It's no wonder I have given up. I got troubles on my mind. Every cloud has a silver lining, but first it has to rain. 40 days and 40 nights to wash away the pain. I can see the shape I'm in. Trust me, honey, I'm not blind. It's easier to be cruel to myself than to be kind. Every man that I ever loved was never satisfied. It's no wonder I have given up. I got troubles on my mind. It's no wonder I have given up. I got troubles on my mind. Yeah, 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 yeah. Troubles on my mind. Close the shutters, lock the door. We can't live here anymore. Wolves are howling at the door. God, it's hell to be poor, to be poor. Swallowed my tears, swallowed my pride. Every day's a struggle to survive. I've got family in Ohio, don't you cry. This won't be your last goodbye. But I promise we will stay afloat. If it floods, I'll build a boat. I'll build a boat. Gone are the nights when he'd hold me tight. Tell me we're better than our circumstance. When the wolves are gone, the poor live on. Just like the jodes in the grapes of wrath. Close the shutters, lock the door. We can't live here anymore. Wolves are howling at the door. God, it's hell to be poor, to be poor. To be poor, to be poor.
Brand new music, Leslie Waugh. Pay attention. Before that, we heard Troubles on My Mind. This album was recorded at the Zone Recording Studio in Dripping Springs, and additional recording by 1930 Studios right here in Houston, Texas. Produced, mixed, engineered by Pat Mansky. Art designed by Scott Waugh. We're going to have an interview with Leslie in the coming weeks when this album is ready for release. Up next on Songwriter Studio, I have a brand new album by Todd Mack. Todd's new album, I'm Gonna Love You No Matter What, just released, recorded, mixed, and mastered out in Morro Bay, California. Rob Vermeulen at his Robo Music Recording Studios. Let's jump into two of the tracks I've got queued up and ready to go, starting with The Light Within. From the brand new album, I'm Gonna Love You No Matter What, new music, Todd Mack.
Where are you, my angel? Where are you, my girl? Will you come tomorrow and take me from this world? Where you been, my father? Where you
The Light Within, new music, Todd Mack. Big thanks to all those who have supported Songwriter Studio over the years. We've got one more track I'm going to be playing off of the new album, I'm Gonna Love You No Matter What, by Todd Mack. The name of this track will be On a Line. Please stick around. Up next, Pan-African Journal with our friend Akua. Until next week, Tom Tranchilla for Songwriter Studio. Be kind and be safe.
Carry on, somebody lead the way. The sages and the wise men have run out of things to say. Underneath the table I was dreaming right out loud. Someone spoke, the full moon broke, the cops all hit the ground, hit the ground. You can rip a man right from his world and hang him on the line, string him out, then reel him in, then put him out to dry. Like a deer caught in the headlights, no, he never stood a chance. The kids get stoned and shake their bones, they scream for one more dance, one more dance. Out there on the highway, everyone's been left for dead. The sages and the wise men never meant to work, they said. Everybody's selling something, everyone's for sale. The cops are back up on their feet and lining up for jail. Can you hear me, God's above? Is there something we should know? Did we miss something along the way? Is this how it's supposed to go? High up on the mountain top, the songbird flew the coop. Everyone is on the run and hiding from the truth, from the truth. Everywhere you go these days, everything looks the same. There's a Starbucks in Bethlehem, McDonald's on every name. Jesus and Allah have Buddha on the line. The songbird, she ain't singing, she's got too much on her mind. Christmas time is here again, it's earlier each year. Round and round that cycle hums and hangs up in the air. Like footprints in a fresh new snow, it's only for a while. Colored lights fill up the nights and make them lovers smile, see them smile. No man winter's on the rise, you can feel it in your bones. Everybody's doing their best to keep up with the Jones. Down at the Walmart, Santa's on display, right between the flat screen TVs on sale for Labor